Hey guys, I want to show you briefly how to get started in TinkerCAD. It's very obvious once you get in there. So if you're at this screen here where we got into TinkerCAD, and by the way, that access is contained in this Google Classroom material page here where you can link directly to TinkerCAD. Should be able to just enter your nickname. So if you're in this screen here, which I clicked on Tinker, and you click on Start Tinkering because you're already in the class. When you start tinkering, you may end up on a screen like this. So then you need to click on Designs, and you won't have any designs in here at this point. But over here on the right, you're going to click on New, and you want to do a new circuit. TinkerCAD can also be used like a CAD system and to do programming by code blocks, but today we're going to do circuits for this lesson. So basically, when you're here, you've got a blank screen. You can come over here, and these are all your basic electronic components. You can actually either grab a battery, or later on, if you actually expand this list to be all components, you have more options such as a variable power supply and some other things in here that you might want to use to like power supply. You might want to use for some of the other circuits you do. So I'm going to go back right now just to basic components, and I'm going to grab a 9-volt battery, and I'm just going to drag it into the screen. If I want to flip that battery around, I can click on the rotate tool and flip it around. Most electrical circuits are done rectangular, and you try to keep square corners, and you kind of try to keep everything sort of going in a circuit, right? And then I'm going to put in a resistor, because remember, every circuit needs some kind of resistor. I'm going to tilt that over a couple of ways here. And every circuit needs a resistor to slow down the circuit so it don't burn something up. Now the resistor comes in at 1K ohm, which is 1,000 ohms. I suggest you probably start with a 330 ohm resistor, so change K ohm to just ohms. That's a typical resistor that we use in the lab over there. So a 330 ohm resistor, click off of that, and let's drag an LED in here just to have something to light up. Now with the LED, you got to make sure the LED is a diode, which means it only allows electricity in one direction. So if you hook into the wrong cathode or wrong anode, if you hook to the wrong side, it's not going to light up. If that happens, just switch the wires, okay? Because it only allows electricity in one direction, from the large wire to the short wire. So once you have your components, you're going to simply connect these wires by clicking and clicking. Before you do that, you might want to change the color of the wire up here to say red when you're going out positive. So I'm going to go here, click. Every time I click, it allows me to turn. And so you see, I kind of keep a square look to everything. I'm going to click from here out, click again, click down, click over, and click up to my LED. Now, in order to return the circuit back from the LED back to the battery, I'm going to switch my color to black, which is typical. Again, the color of the wire does not matter. It's just through the electrons. They're going to travel through whatever um, whatever color wire you put there, right? So now I have everything sort of hooked up. I have a battery source. I have a resistor of 330. You can double click on these and it'll tell you about like what color. You can make this a green LED if you want, things like that. So then when you have everything hooked up, you click on Start Simulation. And you'll notice here it tells me that the bulb does light up, but if I hover over it, it's a little bit too much amperage. It's 20.9 milliamps, and the LED is only rated for 20 milliamps. So if this happened in the lab, it would probably blow the LED. So all we have to do is stop the simulation. You have to stop the simulation if you do any changes. I'm going to double click on my resistor, and I'm going to make it say about 480. I'm going to make a little stronger resistor here, right? And then I'm going to start the simulation again. And you notice now the bulb lights up without a warning, because now if you look at, it's not giving the warning, so it's obviously under 20 milliamps, right? And again, notice the with the LED, we had to come in with the power, the flow of electrons had to come in through the long side or the anode side of the LED, which is the little crooked leg here, and it had to go back out through the cathode to the negative over here. So that's kind of a little simulation of TinkerCAD. You might want to come up here and change the name. It comes up with some weird little name, and so you probably want to call it like circuit and maybe your initials, and then whatever step you're working on in the Project Lead the Way lesson, maybe step 12, because you're going to recreate several of these circuits during the process here. So you probably want to name it something that's meaningful to you. And then when you get it named, you can always go back, click on the TinkerCAD logo. It'll take you back to your design screen here, and you can see the current one I just did, along with all the others I've created in the past here that I still kept and didn't delete yet. So hope you guys have fun with TinkerCAD. Again, you're going to be going to lesson 1.2.3. Make sure you're in the one that's simulation, not the first one which says physical. We'll do physical later. Under simulation, if you scroll down, you're going to start with step 1. It's going to tell you about some of the components you need to look at. It's going to tell you about Ohm's law, remind you of that. Use the little handout notes you did this week. You're going to do these 3 calculations using Ohm's law, 2, 3, and 4. And then finally, starting here in step 5, you're going to construct circuits, right? So you're going to construct from TinkerCAD. It's going to give you some little suggestions here. Change everything to all, and then you're going right into that workspace that we just did the video on. So guys, enjoy it. I hope you have fun with it, and we'll check out your work at point when you've got something working.